barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to join the Patreon. Um, I just got to finish watching uh, Devin Haney's fight, and I'm gonna go in a different direction. Um, I was watching the fight, and I realized how important it is to have a father in your life. And 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 you say, duh, it makes some sense. But Floyd Mayweather's trainer, Devin, and I see it in Devin Haney. I see the offensive explosiveness. I see um, the game plan as it relates to Floyd Mayweather, how they literally, Floyd Mayweather basically set the blueprint for them, and they're starting it at 19, whereas Floyd started this. I mean, he started his game plan early, but um, um, he teamed up with Oscar and them with the Golden Boy Promotions, but it won't be none of that with Devin Haney because he's going to be the ace high from this point forth, um, especially when he gets his belt, you know. And I was just very impressed. I saw DHP all over the arena. Um, I did see Snack. I just think that relationship is going to implode one way or the other. I just don't trust that man. I don't, you know. Outside of that, and I don't want to make this video about that. I want this video to be a celebratory video for the Haneys. Um, very impressed. I love how he came in 134 and a half pounds, chiseled to the spine. Um, Looked very impressive. Um, very explosive tonight. I thought he was very explosive. He has some technical flaws. He's 19 though. You know, see, it's funny when you're talking about technical flaws, and um, he followed him. He followed the kid too much as opposed to setting traps. He got to sidestep a little bit more instead of fighting in circles. Conserve that energy because you're going to need it against when you fight the Tank Davises of the world, the Robert Easters of the world, the um, sooner or later Teofimo Lopez of the world. You know, that's later down the line. But you got to sidestep a little bit. Uh, um, you, you, you know, he should have put his right foot on top, on the outside a little bit more often. Uh, right hand, push his right hand to his left hook. You know what I mean? Um, he could have feinted. He could have feinted to push the guy there. When you watch the fight, you'll see it, and I'm sure the Haneys will talk about this a lot more. But he was in phenomenal shape. I'll say that. Um, Sky's the limit. I want to see him at 23. I want to see Devin Haney at 23. I think around about 23, I think he'll start to get some physical strength. You guys, that's 3 years away. Shit, the kid is 19 years old, you know, and I don't, and I would even go as far as to say if the kid lost between now and 23 years old, he's still on the up and up. You know, a loss hurts him, obviously, makes him feel a little bad, obviously, but he's still ascending. The natural ability he has, um, he just got to become a better boxer. You know, I thought he could have fought stationary a lot more. You know, especially once the guy, round about the fourth or fifth round, the guy basically realized uh, it was going to be hard for him to win the fight. He knew he was down 4 or 5 rounds with a knockdown in the second round, so he knew that he was uh, he was up against it. Um, and kudos to that kid too. I think he has a chance too. He's a hell of a fighter. You know, they showed that he was a rugby player, and he only had 30 amateur fights, 50 amateur fights, somewhere in there. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. And but moreover than all this, I was just impressed with, you know, two fathers that are raising their sons through boxing, and that's the greatest teacher you can have is the people who've done it prior to you. I know Mr. Haney, um, he wasn't a boxer, but Floyd Senior was. So the combination of um, their moxie and the combination of Floyd with the how to and the where to and the when to, um, I think that will take them a long way. I will say this: I would like for them to take a little bit of mustard off the hot dog, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Devin, you're still learning. Um, you have a lot of natural ability, but you're going to have to bite down in those sixth and seventh rounds against a Robert Easter type. You know, say you fought a Ray Beltran. You know, he doesn't have a belt any longer. He's a well worthy opponent. You know, you would have to bite down a little bit to get that win. You know, and I think with those small stuff, like I I bring up Floyd so much, but Floyd is a genius at only using a quarter of the ring. You know, he don't Floyd don't dance all the way around the ring. You know, he Floyd catches all that shit. Floyd in the second half of the fight, he catches all that. In the first half of the fight, you don't want to catch it because he's at his maximum power, and even if you catch it, it feels like a punch. Um, you still feel it to a certain degree. And but Floyd slips and catches all that shit goes off his shoulders. In the second half of the fight, and then he gets off and he's only using a quarter of the ring, half of the ring at most. Floyd doesn't follow you around the ring, and for the most part, and I think Devin is going to get to that point, um, uh, become a better boxer. Just keep on learning on the job. You got to learn on the job. You turned pro at 16. I remember when he had a little baby face with the waves, man. Now he's a professional fighter. Wow, wow, wow. They come a long way, and I wish them nothing but the best. It's just cool, like from my perspective and y'all perspective too. When you see a pro when he starts 0-0, it's just something cool about that. And especially when they're fulfilling their potential. There's so many fighters that are not fulfilling their potential. He's not there yet, but I'm talking about he's taking the steps in fulfilling his potential. In fulfilling his potential, that sounds a lot better. And I don't know where this 135 division goes. I'll be honest with you. But I will say this: all roads have to go through Tank Davis at some point at 135. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to stay at 130. And Tank Davis is a young kid. I just curious how old Tank Davis is. Let me go to BoxRec real quick, because I think no matter who you are, I don't care no matter who you are, you got to go through Tank Davis. He was born 1994, 11/7/1994. So that makes him 24, right? 2018, that makes him 24. Yeah, age 24. So with that being said, all roads have to go through Tank Davis, no matter who you are or where you at. Tank Davis is going to be here for the next 5 to 10 years at doing great things. So, in my humble opinion, I know Tank is at 130, and you guys are saying Fred, but between 130 and 140, that's where I think Tank is gonna reign. So that's the matchup. That's the matchup I would love to see at some point. Definitely not right now. Um, you got a lot of fighters between 130 and 140. You know, that's just special, man. And imagine this if Ennis can go down to 140 and make these fights happen. You got Michael Connor and you got Shakur Stevenson, who's going to be up in the 130 soon. I mean, at some point, not soon. Still rather young. Um, you got the kid from Mayweather Promotions, the Latin kid. That's say he got hands of stone, basically. Uh, Real vibrant kid. He's been got a lot of sparring. You got Teofimo Lopez. You got Ryan Garcia. And the list goes on and on and on. There's about 8 to 10 guys. I know I'm missing some of them, but there's about 8 to 10 guys that got a chance. And then you got guys like Montana Love. I think he fights somewhere down there too. That's on the outside. I think he's a 130 kid. So he's on the outside. He was projected to be. he had a draw the last time I saw him fight, I believe. So, um, um, but yeah, man, it's on the up and up in terms of between 130 and 140. These guys are gonna have to fight each other, knock each other off at some point. But I do think Tank Davis right now is the cream of the crop down there between 130 and 140. I don't think uh, uh, you guys may disagree with me on this, but I don't think Loma will be a huge player in these guys fighting each other. I don't think so because of his age and because of now they have to start chasing money now. Um, they have to start chasing the money fights. Wherever those money fights are, I think they're in the space now where they have to start chasing that money. I think when he went to 14, he went to 14 Olympics. uh, Loma, so he's about 64 years old right now. So they definitely accelerated his career. So at some point you got to fight for the money, you know, and I think that's where Triple G is at now. And there's you know, so but anyways, man, let me know what you guys thought about the fight. Just exceptional. Both fighters were exceptional. You know, Devin Haney, God made him a little bit different. You know, and that's the end to be all. But at the end, above all this, I saw there were three fights, I believe, and they were all working for Devin Haney. How cool was that? A 19, 20-year-old kid, and they all working for him. Great mindset. Hopefully, it builds and turns into something exceptionally special, well deserved, coming from the mean streets of up north. I live in Southern California, of Northern California, and I say nothing but honor them, and it's a beautiful thing. So and I always say when a father can turn a business, can create and turn a business and hand it over to his child, I think that's special. You know, I thank God I was laid off from being a school teacher. You know, now I have assets where I can hand over to my kids because even if you make $500,000 a year, being an executive for Fox, you can't hand that job over to your child. You can't. But Devin Haney Promotions, he'll be able to hand that over to his child and then his grandchildren, and it'll go on and on and on. Because I project Devin Haney will make millions. So, so summary of the fight is Devin Haney is exceptional, exceptionally talented. I told you he reminds me of a Shane Mosley offensively. He doesn't have the power of a Shane Mosley, but just the ability to be an offensive juggernaut. But keep in mind, he's 19. We didn't see Shane Mosley at 19 per se doing the things he did, but Shane Mosley was just his highlight reel was just stupid. He was just knocking people senseless until he ran into burning forest. You know, what was that, New York and Indianapolis? He lost to Vernon Forest. Yeah, New York, Indianapolis, if I remember correctly. Um, um, and got to do some more sidestepping. You got to cut the ring off. You got to suffocate him a little bit more. You got to close the distance per se. Uh, I, I I think you should have fought on the inside a little bit more just to conserve your energy because you have to prepare. You have to prepare yourself for what's coming down, for what's down the street, not across the street. That sounds pretty cool. Anyways, man, you guys get what I'm saying. Barbershop Conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks. Peace.